Already in the title screen, Hollow Knight creates more atmosphere than most other games ever come close to. The whole game is full of it to every element, and it can all be attributed to three main factors. The colorful art style, the ambient soundtrack, and the environmental storytelling are the core reasons why it is so effective. I will in this video go deeper into why the atmosphere in Hollow Knight works so well and the importance of this component in video games. Firstly, I want to talk about the art style. The entire game is hand-drawn by just 2 people, and the game clocks in at over 70 hours worth of content, so that is an achievement on its own. However, when something is hand-drawn, there is essentially no limit to what you can make. The only thing that matters is your artistic and creative. Wait, what? So anyways, as I said, when something is hand-drawn, there is essentially no limit to what you can make. The only thing that matters is your artistic and creative capabilities. Hollow Knight is full of unique and colorful areas, allowing the game to capture wildly different environments. And the art style is one of the main reasons I started playing the game, and it delivers all the way to the end. I also really love the background. It took me some time to notice that in most areas there are multiple layers, adding to the feeling that you are exploring an absolutely enormous kingdom. And there's also all the particles and all the NPCs and the animations in general. Hollow Knight's aesthetic is simply, if I had to use just one word to describe it, I would have had to say
pulchritudinous.
Oh, what's that, my dumb friend? You have never heard of this very specific word that probably nobody has used in the last 50 years. Well, you absolute moron! It seems like somebody needs some solid education. Don't worry, I got you covered. You see, according to dictionary.com, pulchritudinous means physically beautiful or comely. So yeah. Aren't you happy that I wasted your time teaching you a word that you're probably going to forget about in, 10 minutes? Yeah, thought so.
That'll be $39.99.
So, yeah. Even if the art style is breathtaking, the audio and the soundtrack needs to be recognized. I have long said that Hollow Knight's soundtrack is the best soundtrack ever made. And there's a good reason for that. It matches every area, every boss fight, and every moment in the entire game with colossal variety, atmosphere, intensity, and fits magnificently into every emotion. The soundtrack consists of mainly classical instruments, and all sound design is made by a single person. Its consistency never ceases to amaze me. In addition to the great soundtrack, there is the ambience. The wind howling. The echoes of your steps. The ringing of bells in the distance. almost like a fading memory. Then there's the benches. In Hollow Knight, the bench saves your progress and provides breathing room. After a hectic battle or a long journey of exploration, it's nice to just sit down and rest. And that's when the music kicks in. The track with the appropriate name, Reflection, that plays when you sit down is just perfect. It makes space for exactly that. Reflecting over what you've been through and whatever is going on. I've never played a game that incentivizes me to take a break and just think as effectively as Hollow Knight. It is truly something special. Alright, so we've talked about the art style, the music, and the ambience. Now, if you can remember the start of the video, something is missing. Yes, probably the most vital factor in creating a powerful atmosphere that lasts over time, it is the storytelling. And more specifically, as well as in Hollow Knight, environmental storytelling. It starts with you, a little knight descending into dungeons, slaying creatures and saving cute bugs. But as you continue further, it unravels into an epic, lasting adventure, exploring the history of an enormous, unique, decaying kingdom. The mysterious nature of everything makes it that more impactful. You don't know what you're trying to do. You don't know what has happened to this decaying kingdom. You don't know why the enemies are hostile to you. You don't have any sort of explanation. And you don't even know who you are, what you are, or if you are good or bad, or if there even is such a thing. This mysterious atmosphere lasts throughout the entire game, and you will probably theorize about this all the way, even after the game is over. Is that the end of the game? It's a result of the game lacking dialogue and context. Instead, it gradually teaches you more about its world through the environment as you continue. And that is a good reason why focusing on environmental storytelling can be so effective. In Hollow Knight, a lot of the extra things that not every player is going to notice also contributes to the overall feel of the game. Every NPC has something interesting to say. Some are more vague than others, but they all give pieces of lore. There are also secrets everywhere, and many of those are just small areas that give more hints, clues, or foreshadows future events. The different reoccurring symbols, what they mean, and the implications of seemingly random events. It all creates such a cool and unique atmosphere. Hollow Knight is truly special in this regard. Now, in more general terms, what about this element in other games? I mean, of course everything has some kind of atmosphere or feeling to it, but not all of them focus a lot on it. Certain genres, such as horror games and many RPGs, have a thick atmosphere because it is vital to create the desired reaction or to evoke a certain feeling within the player. This does not apply to every game, of course, and most story-driven games follow a more standard storytelling style with focus on dialogue and a more linear plotline. Obviously, there is nothing right or wrong when it comes to what elements you want to utilize in a game. However, personally, I really wish that more games gave more attention to more subtle storytelling, because I believe it allows greater creativity to explore more abstract concepts or to give it a more atmospheric tone. I think this component is tremendously underused in most video games. I am of the opinion that you have to effectively utilize all of the three elements I have mentioned in this video to really create a powerful atmosphere. If one of the components are missing, the game will fail at this. For example, in the game Skyrim, the atmosphere when you are exploring comes from the beautiful soundtrack and the nice visuals. However, Skyrim's solid exploration vibe is ruined by the atrocious, predictable, generic, linear, boring story that is the main quest. It needs a better, more subtle storyline to really sell the atmosphere it goes for. I also do want to point out that I usually have no problem with more linear storytelling. It works wonders in several video games. For example, games such as Half-Life 2 that are driven by a character-focused narrative do not need to apply such storytelling or atmospheric tones because it simply isn't what the game is going for. Sometimes a linear story creates a better game, just because it is a safer way to make a story. Nevertheless, I think many games would have been better if they focused on this aspect. And with that, we have reached the conclusion of this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to smash the dislike button and tell me that I'm an idiot, but before you do that, I want to remind you that all of my points, criticisms, praises, and general opinions are objectively right, so shut the f***!